and directing parting glass. It's a tough business. For openers, how many horses are you directing at this point?
Right now I'm managing 16 horses. We've got about 185 wonderful, very wonderful special clients, and everybody's having a good time.
Have you been affected with these clients, and when you're with your ability to be a salesman? How is this working out in the climate right now, economically?
Mike, nothing affects my ability to be a salesman.
Well, we got, we saw it a minute and a half ago.
But I think the economic climate, see, there's someone saying hello right now. I think the economic climate is that you have to work a little harder, you have to try harder. I think that our office, our staff, my assistant, my daughter's joined us in relating to customers and with customer service. You just have to work harder. Yeah. There are people out there that love racing. There are people out there that want to do this. They've always had the dream of owning a racehorse. And we bring them in, with the right expectations. Only use money you can afford to lose. This is a high-risk game. It is. It is. And I think people need to understand that.
No question.
If they come in with the right expectations, then they'll have a fabulous time.
Two of your students, I may say, are Nehanta Cat, one of whom we're going to look at in just a moment. And this is her race, pardon me, from the 25th of June, the Sabalina Stakes. She will be number 4 on the rail. Talk about this effort when we see it. This is a fine victory for Nehanta Cat, number 5, my mistake.
Nehanta Cat has just been a very consistent horse, and she's actually now just improving as a 6-year-old.
Okay.
She's running her best numbers. She's in the 90 buyers right now as a 6-year-old. So she's been well, actually she won first time out at Saratoga as a 3-year-old. So we thought we might have something brilliant there. But as she's come along, she's just improved, and she really loves the turf, and she's got a tiger in her tank. Barkley says she's a running machine, and she'll spot horses a little bit, whether she's on the rail or she always comes from behind. The longer the distance, the better. And we ran her in this race. Now she's a stakes winner.
Right.
In this race. Then we ran her in an open stake after this race as a prep for the Yadu coming up on the 23rd.
On the 23rd.
So we're gonna enter her in the Yadu, and she's just a fabulous filly. She's grown into a big, beautiful, robust filly. And this is what you want. You want horses that you can develop from 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and hopefully they still continue to get better as they grow.
2 questions about her. You mentioned that she's 6. She's only had 13 starts. There must have been some downtime for some reason.
There was some downtime. She had some knee problems as a 2-year-old.
Okay.
We gave her plenty of time. We didn't want to really race her as a 2-year-old. And then as she came up as a 3-year-old, like I said, she won first time out Saratoga, then won her second start down at Belmont. And what we do, especially with the turf horses, is we like to give them the winter off.
Okay.
So the timing sometimes doesn't always fall for a full campaign. So if you're starting in Saratoga, you might get 3 or 4 races before the turf ends, and then we give them the winter off and then bring her back. She had some issues as a 3-year-old, which we corrected, but now she's absolutely consistent, and she loves it. I mean, she really loves to race. And she knows where the wire is. She knows where the wire is.
Really good stuff. Another one we're going to take a look at from July 23rd is Sweet Madness. This is a race at 7 furlongs on the turf. Talk about her, if you will. She is number 4. 3rd on the rail here.
She's a nice filly. She got a little injury last year at Saratoga early in the meet. We gave her a lot of time off. She needed some time off. We gave her time off, and we're still sort of bringing her back. We were hoping to get into a race on Monday. Unfortunately, they didn't use the race. I guess the race didn't fill, or some other races filled better than that one. So she will not be on Monday. But we're hoping to race her up here along with Ambidextrous, Nehanta Cat, Separatist, one of our favorite horses, who seems to prefer to run second than run first. And one of the favorites for all the handicappers. But, we're going to have a lot of activity here, and we hope that Sweet Madness and the rest of these horses get in and are able to thrill their local fans.
Now, we want to speak to Tom for the next few minutes about some things that are on his mind as far as our industry. And before I get to a couple specific questions and then have you say what you'd like to say about it, I want to say to our audience, if you haven't been to the regular monthly meetings at the Parting Glass, you really owe it to yourselves to go, because that is one of the places where you do these things talk about the industry.
Absolutely. We have industry guests. We have industry guests. It's open to the public. We usually do it the 3rd Thursday of every month. We've had some we do book signings. We had Edgar Prado last year, which was very well attended. The next one coming up is on August 30th, 27th, sorry, and August 27th. They're very well attended. They're a lot of fun, and we have we have book signings. We have industry speakers. Charlie Hayward stops by every once in a while. You've been our guest. Mark's been our guest in handicapping. So they're a lot of fun, and it gets a chance for people to get together and have the common bond of loving horse racing and meet friends, and it's fabulous. It's a lot of fun.
Let's get to some heavy issues here right now. My first one is the one that everyone has been thinking about. Supposedly we're closer to the resolution of VLTs. Whether we are or we aren't, what does this issue mean to you, particularly to the New York program?
It means we need to get these VLTs in finally. I was on the original committee that put together the pilot project, which was passed in 2001. Okay. So it's been since 2001 that we've been waiting for VLTs. They're in law. It's a law. We can put it in. It doesn't have to go before any parliamentary procedures. It's there, and it's just been one delay after another. Now it's 8 years. The state is losing $1 million a day, and it's not just for racing. It's for state education. It goes through the lottery division, so state education is losing their percentage of $1 million a day. $1 million. Did I say $1 million a day before? It's $1 million a day. So now it's almost $3 billion that the state has lost because of the inaction of getting these VLTs in. Apparently now, they are picking, they're going through the vetting process of the various vendors. So hopefully they make that decision and they start to use the shovels and put the thing in. Let's hope.
Let's hope. You mentioned just before we were on air that there was a piece of legislation that was concerning you.
There are two things.
Please talk about this. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
There are two things that are going to directly affect our industry, our national industry, that just happened in the past 3 months. Number one, Delaware Park just passed sportsbook gambling and table games. Okay. Once people see the action that's happening down at Delaware Park, they're going to take notice, and then this is going to be, I think, this may be the beginning of a trend. The way this hurts us is it's more competition for pari-mutuel wagering at racetracks.
Yes, it is.
Not only that, the purses at Delaware Park, the smallest state in the union, are going to be bigger than New York, one of the biggest states in the union. Did you hear me, Governor? It's just going to be like reverse. Delaware is going to have some of the highest purses on the East Coast. So that's why we need to get these VLTs in. We need to keep New York at the top. New York is the top, as far as I'm concerned. If you're going to make it anywhere, you're going to make it here, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, so that's big. Another thing that was big is Hollywood Park was closed. And they thought that the combination of the racino and the racetrack was going to be this beautiful formula. Well, guess what?
I like this concept. Go ahead.
They took away the racetrack and they left the racino. Another, another bad omen for our business. So we need to get, we need to get purses up. I interviewed John Nehru on my radio show the other day, FM Star 101.3, Saturdays between 9 and 10. Give it a little plug. The amount of expenses that people pay is $3 billion, and the amount of purses that are awarded in a year is $2 billion. So there's a shortfall of purses.
That's a fact. No question.
And if you have bigger purses, people go to the sales, they restock,
absolutely true.
They increase their stables, they don't decrease their stables, and we have to work on getting kids to the racetrack. Gretchen Jackson had a fabulous idea the other day. She said as kids come in, you give them a little armband with a number on it at the beginning of every race. Now, this is Gretchen Jackson, the owner of Barbaro and Nicanor and all these wonderful horses. You give them an armband, and before every race, they call out a number, and that winning number of that child goes down to the winner's circle for the winner's circle presentation. Now, you don't have to worry about marketing because kids will do it for you. That child that goes down is in the winner's circle, they're going to be texting like crazy to all their friends. And everybody's going to say, Daddy, Daddy, bring me to the racetrack, bring me to the racetrack. That's our future. The future of this business is children, is the youngsters.
There's no doubt about it.
It's a natural attraction, kids and horses. You don't have to sell them. Once they see a horse, they're in love. That's the future of our business. Not Wall Street guys, not, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You have to build your base with kids.
You need a base.
You need a base.
All right, stay with us. We're going to look at some stakes we're going to talk about today. If you really like